Hey everyone, welcome to another video post here at Life and Student Ministry. My name is Tim Schmoyer. I'm the author here at Life and Student Ministry, and we're going to talk a little bit today about mistakes that can just really kill the growth and the impact of your ministry. Just probably look about 9 different ways that can happen pretty easily if we're not careful. I'm also going to give away a free resource as always. But first of all, talk about the live YM talk that's coming up on Friday. We're going to talk about dealing with teenagers, just kind of, well, the word that was proposed to me by the guy who wants to talk about this is flippant. How do we work with flippant teenagers? And we'll probably hit the whole gamma of disrespect, of apathetic, of bad attitudes, probably all that stuff. How do I work with those teens in our ministry? So that came as a request to someone who's going through that right now, so they'll be there to kind of share their story, and we'll just kind of give that person advice and maybe talk about some of those things in more detail. Whatever. We're going to talk about this Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time as always. You want more information about that, you go to timschmoyer.com, and at the very top of this website, you see there's that little link that says YM Talk. You click on that, and that'll give you the whole rundown of all that's going on, the past conversations we had, and a schedule for what's coming up. We got a lot of really good authors and speakers and guests lined up for over the next couple, well, through the end of January, I think. So we're gonna have a lot of good talks coming up. So love to have you join you. It's free. Just call a phone number and you just hop in the conversation with us, and we all talk. So it'll be great. So that's this Friday. All right, before I give away this free resource, youth ministry resource, let me talk about 9 different things and mistakes that you can make that really has the potential to kill the growth of your ministry, the impact of your ministry, the direction of your ministry, even the whole ministry overall. And the first thing that can really do that is thinking that you know everything. Especially youth workers tend to be a little bit younger sometimes, and unfortunately the stereotype is that they're a little more cocky, a little more arrogant, and maybe that's because it's true. So hopefully I'm not one of them. Hopefully you're not one of them. But thinking that you know everything can really be a big killer to the growth and the expansion of your ministry. You got to be willing to be challenged, and not just kind of, oh, that's common sense, I don't need to learn more about that. You know, that's whatever. Everybody knows that. You don't want to have those types of thoughts. So one big killer is that you think that you know everything. Number 2 is being confused with all the marketing hype that comes up. In youth ministry especially, it just seems like there's so many different products and services and curriculum, and you need to buy this and buy that, and this will make your ministry successful, or whatever that means, and all this stuff. And don't get sucked into all that. There's a lot of good sales pitches out there where you'll buy something that's actually worth absolutely nothing. It's a lot of junk. I know, because I have a lot of stuff sent to me all the time. People want me to feature their products or something, and most of it is junk. Now, there are some really good things out there, so don't get the two confused. Start by talking to some people that you trust about something that if you have a question about a certain curriculum or product, try to find someone who's actually used it and see what their opinion are. You can look up some user reviews. Sometimes Amazon has some, sometimes they don't, but just don't get sucked into all the hype and whoever is spending the most amount of money on marketing at the time. So that's number 2. Number 3 is not taking action on something. If you read a book and there's lots of great ideas, or it's really challenging to you spiritually, just reading it or watching this video or even reading a blog or something isn't going to make any difference at all unless you do something about it. So just knowing it in your head what to do and not putting it into action. I mean, you gotta know it and then put it in action. Otherwise, it just won't mean anything. It won't be very transforming if you never put into practice what you know, what you've learned. So number 3, not taking action will also be a big mistake that will really kill your ministry's growth and impact. Number 5. And this one's huge, and we could spend a whole video talking about this one. But this one is number 5, worrying about what other people are going to think, or listening to what other people do think, the negative criticism that you have, and letting it just really tear you down and tear you apart on the inside. People's opinions are valuable if they're on your side, if they're on your team, if they're really honestly trying to help you. But if you're just sucked into this fear of what everyone else thinks is a big deal to you, then maybe you have some security issues of your own you need to work through. Not that you disregard good, honest, godly advice, But if you're always scared of what other people are going to be saying or the criticism you get, or maybe you're only in ministry because you want people to like you or praise you, that's going to be a huge killer. We need to find our validation in ministry from God, not from the other people around us, because if you are a leader, it doesn't matter where you serve, what you're doing, you will be criticized. So number 5, don't worry so much about what other people think or what people say. Do what the Lord is calling you to do. Do it right. Do the best of your ability. And make sure, you just make change just randomly. Make sure people are on your side, because you're not a leader if no one's following you either. But don't be too afraid of just watching out for what you think other people are going to say and their opinions of you. Number 6, sometimes we just dabble in something. Just dabbling in it, and it can really hurt the growth and impact of our ministry. What I mean by that is sometimes we dabble on and off with certain things rather than just committing to something wholeheartedly and jumping in with both feet. We just start maybe a program, or we start with an idea, or maybe we start by having leadership prayer meetings, or we start by doing something, and then we just kind of wears off. And maybe we feel it's not as valuable as it should be, or maybe it's just not worth it. But either way, you're just kind of dabbling in and out. Commit to something when you do it and go for it. If you decide later it's not working, just cut it off. That's fine, no problem. At least you tried it, now you know it doesn't work. But going in and out can also hurt the direction and the momentum that your ministry is trying to build. Number 7 is having unrealistic expectations of maybe what it is that you're trying to do in your ministry, what you're trying to accomplish. Maybe you've read a book that says if you do X, Y, Z, your ministry is going to do something, and you tried X, Y, Z and nothing happened, or something the opposite, whatever. Have realistic expectations for your ministry, for your leaders, for what you're doing with these kids. And maybe you're thinking their spiritual growth should be much faster than it is. Maybe you're disappointed because you did an event and had nobody come. Maybe you're just disappointed because you think more people should be coming to Christ who aren't. So set realistic expectations and understand that God's in control, and that it's His Holy Spirit ultimately that is responsible for the life change that takes place in these kids' lives. Number 8 is not taking responsibility for yourself can really be a big killer to the impact and growth of your ministry. And what I mean by that is making sure if you have like a set amount of vacation days, if you're a paid youth worker, or even if you're not, if you're a volunteer, make sure you use all those vacation days. Make sure that you are getting the rest and the spiritual nourishment that you need. Make sure that you are the people that you are investing into are people who are going to be giving back into your life, that you have those mentors and people in your life, set boundaries. Make sure you work out regularly, exercise, reduces stress level a lot, puts you in good physical shape to keep up with the kids in dodgeball. And so make sure you invest into your own self and take responsibility for your own growth as well. And that also leads to the final 9th point, that invest into your spiritual life as well. Make sure you're spending time with the Lord. If you're not investing in your spiritual life, that'll be a huge killer to your ministry, because every ministry, the best resource that any ministry can have is having a youth leaders who are just passionately excited about God, where that passion is contagious and wears off on all the people around them. That is the best thing you can give to any number of kids. So spend time in personal worship with the Lord and sharing your faith with others. Spend time in prayer. Make sure you find a mentor, because that's the best thing that your ministry can have by far, and it is easily the cheapest too. So those are 9 things that can really kill your ministry and your ministry's impact and its growth if you're not careful. Real quick, here's the resource. It's called Making Peace at Home by Dawson McAllister, and it's just a easy workbook for teens to work through. It's used. It's got some drawings and stuff in it already. But if you could use this in your ministry, as always, first person to comment here at timschmoyer.com, below this video at timschmoyer.com. I'd be happy to send this to you free of charge, thanks to teenlifeministries.com. And they just have Teen Life Ministries has a plethora of great resources and things that you can use in your ministry. So if you can use this, Making Peace at Home by Dawson McAllister and Clark Albright, and it's the workbook for teenagers, just let me know. I'll send it to you. Thanks to teenlifeministries.com. Check them out sometimes when you guys get a chance. Again, I'm Tim Schmoyer. Thanks for joining me this week for this week's video episode, and I look forward to hanging out with you guys again next week. Talk to you later. Bye.